Ada, what do you think is the best use case for large language model technology? If you had to pick a single top highest return on investment use case for LLMs, what would you pick?
That's a great question, Dan. I think one of the top use cases for large language model technology is customer support automation. By integrating LLMs into chat systems, businesses can provide 24/7 support, handle a massive volume of inquiries, and improve response times, all while reducing costs. It enhances customer experience and allows human agents to focus on more complex issues. What do you think?
Those voices kind of cringy. I love it, and I also hate it. Yeah, I think that's a great use case. Definitely one of the more obvious ones. My favorite, though, is probably education and learning. Large language models give us unprecedented abilities to learn at incredible rates.
That's an excellent point, Dan. Education is such a transformative area for LLMs. They can personalize learning experiences, provide instant feedback, and create interactive tutoring sessions. It really empowers students to learn at their own pace. What specific aspects of education do you think benefit the most from LLMs?
Okay, that sounds good. Let's switch gears. I want to ask you about programming languages. What do you think is the best programming language for rapid prototyping? I want to get something shipped out yesterday.
For rapid prototyping, Python is often considered one of the best programming languages. It's easy to read, has a vast array of libraries, and supports quick iteration. You can build and test ideas very quickly.
This voice.
Another great option is JavaScript, especially for web applications, as it allows for fast development and immediate results in the browser. What type of project are you looking to prototype?
All right, love your answer there. Let's switch gears once again. I want to know what your thoughts are here. Between Google, Anthropic, and OpenAI, who will win the AI race, specifically around LLMs?
That's an intriguing question, Dan. Each of those companies brings unique strengths to the table. Google has vast resources and data, which can enhance their models. Anthropic focuses on safety and alignment in AI, which is becoming increasingly important. OpenAI has made significant strides in accessibility and collaboration with their APIs. It's hard to say who will win as the landscape is so dynamic. Each could lead in different areas. Do you have a favorite among them? Or a specific angle you're curious about?
Here is a ultra-fast personal AI assistant powered by Groq ElevenLabs and GPT-4O Mini. Voice-assisted work is a massively untapped superpower that can supercharge productivity. Up until now, building a personal AI assistant just hasn't been viable. It's too slow and the voices have been subpar. This has changed, and we can see that OpenAI's ChatGPT with the advanced voice mode is absolutely leading the way. In this video, though, I want to show you how you can build your own personal AI assistant and have full control so you can escape the walled garden that companies like OpenAI and Apple and Google are slowly starting to set up for us as they build out their own suite of AI products. As software engineers, personal AI assistants are too valuable to hand off to a company. We need to control at least some of this technology to boost our personal productivity. In this video, we're going to look at 3 personal AI assistants. I want to show you the fastest and highest quality speech-to-text, large language model, and text-to-speech tooling you can use to build your own personal AI assistant literally today. You just heard the Groq ElevenLabs combination with our amazing, super cringy voice. Leave a thumbs up and a comment if you enjoyed that voice. We're going to look at a pure OpenAI implementation. And then lastly, we're going to look at AssemblyAI and ElevenLabs. We'll then discuss the 3 key components that make up a functioning personal AI assistant. As you can see here, I've broken this down into this reusable class. We'll break these down in just a moment. Then I want to show you my personal AI assistant prompt that I use to create really concise, helpful, useful conversations, with my personal AI assistants. We'll wrap it all up. We'll look at all the stats between our personal AI assistants and see who is the fastest. What personal AI assistant combination gets us results in the shortest amount of time. I'm going to update the assistant type here. We're going to use the pure OpenAI implementation. And let's go ahead and kick this off and ask a few questions. Ada, in our previous video, we looked at the best format for prompts. It seems like large language models prefer XML format. Why do you think that is?
That's an interesting observation, Dan. XML is structured and allows for clear hierarchy and organization of data, which can be really beneficial for large language models. It helps them parse information more easily than plain text, making it simpler to understand the relationships between different pieces of information. What do you think about using XML going forward in our projects?
Yeah, that sounds great. I think my idea is for smaller products, for smaller tools, I'll use Markdown just because it's super readable. But for anything we productionize, we'll use XML.
That sounds like a solid plan. Markdown is definitely user-friendly and quick for smaller tools. Using XML for production makes sense because of its structure and clarity. Do you have specific projects in mind for each format?
Yeah, definitely. But I want to change gears here. I want to ask you a question about who do you think is going to win the large language model race between OpenAI and Google?
That's a hot topic. Both OpenAI and Google have impressive capabilities, but they each have their strengths. OpenAI is really focused on refining user interactions and safety, while Google has vast resources and data access. It could go either way depending on advancements in research and user adoption. What do you think? Do you lean toward one company over the other?
Yeah, okay, so hot topic. Definitely not going to dig into that one at all. So this is great. So we have some more results, and let me just show you exactly how I'm benchmarking this. Every assistant type is getting its own timetable saved here. You can see all the previous results. We'll sum these up at the end. This is duration in seconds. So this works bottom to top. So the 0th position is the newest item inside of our action list here. It starts with transcription. This takes OpenAI 1.7 seconds to transcribe our audio. It then takes the text from our audio and runs a prompt. And we can see that here. We'll cover our personal AI assistant prompt in just a moment here. So it thinks, uses an LLM to return a response. We're using GPT-4O Mini for high speed, high performance. That takes about 1.6 seconds. And then lastly, this seems to be the longest step. We need to then convert its response into voice. So this is our generate voice audio step. And this takes about 3.7 seconds for OpenAI to run. The great thing about the OpenAI personal AI assistant is that it runs everything with a single API key. If you open up the sample here, all you need to run the OpenAI assistant is just the OpenAI key. But this is what the timetable looks like. You can see we have our Groq timetable here. We'll go ahead and sum them at the end. But let's go ahead and discuss the key pieces of every personal AI assistant. So the first step is the transcription step. You first speak to your computer, you record audio, and that's what we saw in the first step here, right? The first thing that happens is we press enter, get a recording, and then we hit enter again to stop the recording. The next step is the think step. So this is given your response and given a prompt, how do you want your LLM to actually respond? That's step 2. The final step is speak. So given the response from the think step, you need your assistant to actually say something. This is really important because the speak step also entails what voice you're using and how fast that runs. With these 3 steps, you can recreate your own personal AI assistant with any tool. If we look at our last tool here, we can dig in and look at how exactly this is all running. So first we're running transcription. Here we're using AssemblyAI. They have some really nice simple tooling that allows us to just pass in a file path. This is our recorded audio file. And then we just grab the text from that, right? So now we have our transcribed text. Then we have our think step, right? So this is where we're literally just passing our prompt to our LLM with our text embedded. And let's go ahead and take a look at this prompt. I'm passing in some information here. I'm giving my assistant a name. You then give your assistant your name, and then you write whatever instructions and rules you want your personal AI assistant to follow. Maybe you like more detailed responses. I prefer the short, conversational, concise responses. I like to use single prompts here versus the chat history messages. So I like to pass in our previous interactions and then our latest input, so the latest thing that I have said. And then we end with a nice leading command, your conversational response. This leads the LLM in the right direction so it knows exactly how to start responding. Feel free to jump in here, tweak this to your liking. This is probably one of the most essential prompts as it kind of creates the tone and the structure that your personal AI assistant responds with when conversing with you. So that's the think step. And then lastly, we have the speak step. I like to break this into the generate voice audio because I don't need to time how long it takes to actually play the audio. All I want to know is how long did it take to generate the audio. Here we're using ElevenLabs V2, and our Groq personal AI assistant, we're using the ElevenLabs Turbo V2.5 model, which is supposed to be 25% faster. So that's the framework. All of this code is going to be in the description for you to get started with your own personal AI assistant. Imagine an AI assistant that knows your data, your work style, and responds in a blink of an eye. That's the future we're heading toward. You can see this with OpenAI's ChatGPT, advanced voice mode. It's all heading in that direction. I just want to make sure that you and I have our own version that we can operate on that isn't inside of a walled garden, closed source company. If this framework makes sense and you can see where this is going, hit the sub, hit the like, and let's continue to our next step here. So you can see in our model setup here, we're using the build mini model, and we're doing this in every single one of our assistants. We're just running the build mini model, and that's going to return an LLM model that is the GPT-4O Mini. This is the best way to get the highest performance with the highest speed at the lowest cost. This is a different way to interact with your computer. We've been chatting with our computer, we've been typing. It's time to start talking to your computer and taking things to the next level. So let's go ahead and fire off the last assistant type here. This is a combination between AssemblyAI and ElevenLabs. And if we go ahead and split the screen here, we can see the results come in at the same time. So I'll go ahead, run this, split the screen, and then I'll load that file as soon as it comes up. So let's go ahead and just ask another random question here. What's up, Ada? Do you think that society shapes technology, or does technology shape society? Be concise, be short here. All right, so we should have that file here. We're gonna see this file pop up. There it is.
Hey Dan, that's a great question. I think it's a bit of both. Society sets the needs and values that drive technology, while technology also influences how we live and interact. It's a dynamic relationship. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's spot on. They both affect each other in this kind of circular, endless pattern. There you go.
Absolutely, Dan.
So you can see the new results
it's like
coming in at the top.
a continuous feedback loop where each one evolves based on the other. Do you see any recent examples of this interplay in your daily life?
Let's switch gears, Ada. I want to know your opinion on the effect that personal AI assistants will have on us.
Switching gears sounds great, Dan. I think personal AI assistants will significantly enhance our daily lives by improving efficiency and accessibility. They can help us manage tasks, provide information quickly, and even assist with personal growth. However, it's important to consider privacy and reliance on technology. What aspects of personal AI assistants intrigue you the most?
All right, so we have some more data out of the AssemblyAI plus ElevenLabs combination. You can see the times coming in here. So it took 2.7 seconds to generate voice audio. It took GPT-4O Mini 1.5 seconds to think. It looks like the transcribe step, though, is coming in pretty slow from AssemblyAI. When you're working with your personal AI assistant, you want things to be fast, you want results quickly, and you want to be able to jump in and out of work as if you were just typing, right? Let's go ahead and open this up and let's see what our results look like overall. So now we have concrete responses from our OpenAI results, from our Groq ElevenLabs combination, and our AssemblyAI ElevenLabs combo. So I think I want 4 numbers here from each one of these. I have cursor open right now, so I'm just gonna select everything, and just run a quick prompt using Claude 3.5 to get this done. Summarize the duration for each function. Add a new row at the bottom with the totals for each function. Just gonna let that rip, let it do the work here. Great. Cool, so those numbers look correct. Just doing a quick prompt check. Add the total duration of all steps. Just doing some quick fun prompting work here. Looks like the total time it took to run 3 interactions back and forth using AssemblyAI and ElevenLabs took about 30 seconds, okay? So not too bad, not too great either. Let's go ahead and move on. Let's go ahead and do OpenAI next, and I'll just run the same thing. Sum the duration for each function, bottom, and then I'll just give it an example. So let's go ahead and let that rip. Cool, so that looks great. It looks like our pure OpenAI personal AI assistant took about 19 seconds. So that's really, really great, right? Compared to our previous AI assistant, that's about 10 seconds faster. And you can see here our transcribe is faster and our generate audio is just a bit faster. You'll notice here the think step is the same. As I mentioned, all of these models are using the GPT-4O Mini for their think step. Let's go ahead and finish off strong with the Groq ElevenLabs combination. And this ElevenLabs is using the 11 Turbo 2.5 model for the text-to-speech. Run that same prompt, I'll just hit up, drop that example in, and fire off. So we're just letting our coding assistant here do the hard work for us. Okay, well, this is actually really, really close. So if we just quickly look through the results to make sure that these numbers look good, 2.8, 2.5, 3, yeah, that looks right. Okay, so I mean, the results are in. We can just pull these in to a new file here. And it is, as expected. OpenAI coming in at first place. AssemblyAI and ElevenLabs, a far third place. This is largely AssemblyAI's fault. Very slow. To be fair, I'm on the free version of AssemblyAI. They might have faster speech-to-text functionality on their upgraded plans. That's likely to be the case. So pretty interesting results. I was pretty confident that Groq would come in first place here, but it looks like OpenAI's stack is really, really great. Of course, the disadvantage is ElevenLabs gives you a ton of customizable voices you can work with. OpenAI only has a few voices to play with. They only have, 6 voices, and the quality is, not ideal, but also not terrible. Whereas ElevenLabs has an entire suite of voices for you to pick from, and they're all pretty great. At a high level, this code is going to do the following. On a loop, press enter to start recording. This is going to pick up audio from our microphone. When we press enter again, it's going to capture that recording. We're going to run our personal AI assistant transcribe step. We're going to let our personal AI assistant think with our prompt, and then given the response of the prompt, it's going to speak the response. We'll delete the audio, and then we'll update our previous interactions, which is basically just our chat history. And then it will just continue to run this in a loop. All this code is going to be in the description for you to check out and get your own personal AI assistant up and running today. I recommend starting out with the OpenAI assistant. It seems to be the fastest and also the easiest to set up. The disadvantage there is that you're limited to their 6 or 7 voices that they provide. So you can see here, based on our assistant type, we're running a different assistant, and their assistant just runs the exact same commands, right? We have the setup call, we have the transcribe step, we have the think step, and then we have the speak step. It really is that simple. These are the 3 essential methods of a personal AI assistant. So these are the results of a conversation of length 9. We have a pure OpenAI personal AI assistant in the lead. We then have Groq and ElevenLabs in second place. And then in a distant third, we have AssemblyAI and ElevenLabs. And it looks like the big loser here is AssemblyAI. My personal AI assistant combination will likely be OpenAI plus ElevenLabs. I'll likely combine these two, specifically because we get the bonus of having customizable voices, and that completely changes the pseudo-digital relationship that you have with your digital AI assistant. So that's it for this video. I wanted to share this so that you're aware that you can build and use your own powerful personal AI assistant right now. Definitely leave a comment and let me know if you're using any one of these technologies for your own voice assisted work. I think personal AI assistants are going to be a massive, massive game changer for engineers looking to push their productivity to the very limits. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.